Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining my workshop. I'm so excited to have you here and to dive right into the morning routine. So today we are talking about 5 steps to a kick-ass morning routine. And what does that mean? So basically, I just want you to think of this as a chat between friends. The topics we're discussing here today are really just what I've been talking with my friends about and family and fellow consultants, clients, really just people I run into at the grocery store. It's all coming down to morning routines for me. And I know this is what a lot of people are talking about. There are books about this topic, and I really think it is the key to your success. So, this is how we can set ourselves up for success. And really, that success is however you define it. 17,400,000. That is how many searches there are on Google for morning routine. So why is this such a big deal? Today, we're going to dive into the importance of having a morning routine, the 5 steps I take each and every day, how to overcome some of the resistance around even waking up early, let alone all of the other barriers, and finally, a bonus tip. So at the end of the call, I'll offer a quick way to get in touch with me, but this is not a sales call. There's nothing to buy at the end of this call. Just sit back, take some notes, and enjoy. You are in the right place if you are a business owner and ready to expand. You've been super successful but feel like that was due to luck. You're a sales executive and want to reach goals. Maybe you're currently in a 9 to 5 job, but just really dreaming of starting your own business. So the number one question I get is, how did you get into coaching? And I'm not going to go into a huge long story about that, but basically I spent 12 years in the corporate world and I actually wanted to become a health coach. I wanted to get fit and lose weight myself. So I started coaching people in fitness and nutrition and really found a lot of success in that. But I also realized through that process that helping others lose weight and reaching those goals was all about the deeper stuff, right? It's all of the inner game, the mindset, the confidence that comes along with that. So I became certified as an energetic leadership coach and really now just use coaching as a tool to help business owners increase their potential and become high performers. And using this tool, I've had some amazing ahas and seriously could probably speak for hours and never get tired. But I want you to be able to walk away from this workshop with some tangible ideas for having more success in your life. I want you to have a plan to implement into your life starting today, starting tomorrow morning when you wake up, that you can say, this is what I'm working on to be a more successful person in my business, my personal life, and as a member of society. So let's dive in. For most of my life, and really ever since I was a kid, I've been an early riser. I used to dread sleepovers where my friends would continue to sleep in and I would just lay there awake. I literally would take a book with me so that I'd have something to read, something to do in the morning, obviously long before iPhones. And to this day, I just still love a good sunrise. Even into my teen years, when my friends and older brother started to have an actual gift of sleeping until noon or later, I would be the one up and dressed and ready for the day before the sun was even up. I have an ability of being up and awake at an ungodly hour once the decision has been made. And that, my friends, is really the key point. Once the decision has been made, there are plenty of times when I haven't planned out my morning, and so the comfy, cozy bed tightens its grip and I cannot fathom moving. Well, whose fault is it? When we blame others, we are essentially giving our power away. Whether you think it's your partner's fault for not instilling in you the inspiration to want to get up and work out with them in the morning, or maybe it's your parents' fault for not giving you the value of an early morning routine. Really, everyone around us is just doing the best they can. That's what we're doing too, right? Let's focus on how to do the best you can in this moment. The question to ask yourself is, what is the resistance around you not getting up in the morning? At the end of the day, we are always at choice. It is a choice to get up. It is a choice to stay in bed. It is a choice to be happy. It all starts with a thought. You must make a hell bent for glory decision to stick to your plan. I realized that by planning out my mornings, having some set action items to do, and a structure to my morning, I was preventing the feelings of overwhelm and stress throughout the day. This one step to my day was helping me set up myself for success, just one alarm chime after another. I had time for the big rocks and priorities for my day, and starting early meant I really got to start off on the right foot instead of being behind the eight ball right out of the gate. This was the key for me getting my business started and then later scaling the business to a new level. I had to prime myself, so to speak, for the stress of the day and the distractions that inevitably come my way, and I'm sure come your way too. I completely understand that you may not believe yourself to be a morning person. And the first task will be getting over that limiting belief. It's literally all in your head. Rewriting that simple script of, I am not a morning person, she is crazy, to I am a morning person, she is on to something here, will help set the tone for your new and improved routine. Or your limiting belief may be, I am a night owl. You can rewrite that to, I am an early bird, or early bird gets the worm. The other limiting belief is that not knowing what you want in life or knowing what your big idea is before starting a routine is a little backwards. By setting up this routine, you will begin to open up space to listen to your inner voice about what kinds of things are important to you and what is it that you want to focus on in the next quarter or year. Limiting beliefs affect us all, whether it is something someone told us or something we have taken on ourselves to believe. It is that old tape that plays over and over in your head. We are all walking around with limiting beliefs, thoughts that are constraining us, and believing things that just aren't true. These thoughts come from our experiences, our upbringing, education, faulty logic, excuses, and resistance to change. I had a client tell me about a time she raised her hand in class. The teacher kindly said, Not now, we are moving on to something else. And this lady refused to raise her hand again, feeling like she was not good enough. She reinforced the belief every time someone else would speak up and thought, Oh, I could never say it like that, or their comment was so much better than mine. We base these scripts on our early messages. I personally had a limiting belief that playing big was showy, annoying, and egotistical. I had a boss that reinforced these beliefs by telling me just listen in the meetings and to make sure to take notes during our conference calls. If I spoke up to interject a comment or ask a question, he would quickly railroad my comment with his own or turn it into his idea. I learned to keep quiet pretty quickly and stick to playing small so no one would notice me. And of course, that was playing it safe as well to avoid being hurt or wrong or shamed. The ego gets a bad rap, and there's a lot of talk about how to let go of the ego, but the ego plays a vital role in who we are. It actually is there to keep us safe. And in this case, yes, we can try to let it go. We can thank the ego for being there for us in good times and bad, for better and for worse, but it's time we branched out on our own and crushed these limiting beliefs once and for all. So, how do we get over these unhelpful limiting beliefs, especially when they have been with us for so long? There are a few simple steps, not necessarily easy, but simple. Number one is identifying a limiting belief. Two, pick a belief you would like to hold instead. Three, really feel into the new belief. Get emotional about it. Cry, scream, let it all out. Think about what it would be like to really live in this new belief and embrace it full on. 4, when the old thought pops back in, ask, how true is that? And build up a case for the old belief being false or unhelpful at this time, also known as reframing. Finally, number 5, gather as much evidence as possible for your new empowering belief. Write these down and keep them close to you throughout the day to refer to when things get messy. No packed lunch, no breakfast eaten, no movement or exercise, possibly no time for a shower, no proper care of clothing, no makeup, no hair, no self-care, no time for interaction with family before heading out the door or into your home office, whatever the situation may be. No walk for the dog, no dinner started, no dishes unloaded, running out the door late and scattered, or jumping onto a Zoom call not prepared, forgetting things, stressed out in traffic, and on with your day. Does that sound familiar? Let alone if you have your own business or want to venture out on your own with a new endeavor, you are not showing up with your A game. It's not going to be sustainable. So being overwhelmed and disorganized equals stress. Now, who wants to start their day at 5 a.m.? Not me, but this is about taking time for yourself in the morning so that you can give to others, your job, your family throughout the day, and put your own oxygen mask on first. This actually falls more into the category of self-care than work. And once you realize that, believe me, it's going to get addictive. Carving out this time for yourself might even start to feel like a luxury. Creating these good habits will snowball into others throughout your day. Waking up early is a habit, just like not waking up early is a habit. The key to changing habits or adding in new ones is to add them to habits already in place. For example, when you want to remember to floss, you probably do it right after brushing your teeth. Adding a habit to something you already do each day is a great way to remember the new activity. For example, now I get my coffee from the kitchen, an old, deeply ingrained habit, and I move to the room where I start my gratitude journal, and then the other activities. Just because I was waking up early all of these years doesn't mean I was using the time wisely. Quite frankly, before I started this routine, it's mostly been lying on the couch, waiting for coffee, and getting distracted by Facebook. When I realized that I wasn't really living in alignment with my values and who I wanted to be in this world, being true to myself became number one. I embraced that new me and took it down to the basics, starting with my mornings. So just like Mark Zuckerberg always wears the same gray shirt and hoodie, and of course, Steve Jobs in his black turtleneck and Levi's, and even Obama wore the same suit colors day in and day out, they all claimed to want to leave brain capacity for decisions for the more important decisions. Having your mornings set up to be a step-by-step process will open you up for more white space for creativity and decision making for later in the day. So here is how my morning routine goes. Feel free to take it or leave it. Whatever won't serve you in your day, that's fine. This is just an example and just to give you some ideas and food for thought. And mine even changes around from time to time. So maybe you have time set aside for exercise or writing later in the day, so you'll skip that and change things up. Number 1 is gratitude journal. Guess what happens when we are thankful for things in our lives? It opens us up to receive more. And I don't mean in a superficial Veruca Salt, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of way, but more in a love more and receive more love in your life kind of way. What gratitude does is bring your awareness to all you already have and to appreciate that. It's about recognizing the gifts we have in our lives, helping us not take them for granted. It's an amazing way to start the day instead of dread and fear or worry about not having enough. And it really switches your brain from a lack mentality of never having enough, so you tight fist your way through life, to an abundance mindset, kind of coach speak for believing there's enough for everyone and more than enough to go around, which also opens you up to being more giving and loving towards others. Number 2 is affirmations. While I jumped on the Oprah craze over 20 years ago to do the gratitude journal, even though I only did it sporadically, this also was something that kind of reminds me of about 20 years ago with the Stuart Smalley from SNL. And really, there's definitely something a little funny about doing these, but trust me, it works. Now, I will warn you, it does not work in a vacuum. And the importance is the action that comes along with the affirmations. Just sitting around saying, I am a morning person and I am rich, won't a millionaire make. However, using this to fuel your desire to get your butt off the couch will get you results. Number 3 is morning pages. This is another thing, again, kind of resurrected from my 20s during the Artist's Way heyday. That's a Julia Cameron workbook that helps artists get into their mindset of being good writers or artists. And it all starts with this 3-page-a-day writing habit that you get into. So now I use this as sort of a receptacle for all of my crazy thoughts, but really just to get it out onto paper and not have that stuff in my head. Thinking about it is so beneficial. Also, this is a great place to get good content for posts or emails if that's something that you're into. Number 4 is meditation, which really to me is the granddaddy of all morning routines. And it's the one thing that doesn't usually get enough credit. Don't get me wrong, it gets a ton of attention, but I don't think people realize how beneficial it really is. It is something that is very simple, quite easy, and because of which I don't think it gets much credit for doing the heavy lifting. Meditation in a nutshell is this: super easy. Find a quiet spot to sit in, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, which it will, and there is no judgment about that, just come back to your breath. That's it. Yes, some people's minds wander and wander and wander, but typically the more you meditate, the more easily it is to bring your attention back. Notice I didn't say the less your mind wanders, because even for the most experienced meditator, the mind will wander, but it's about making the tiny shifts to bring the mind back. 5, reading. Depending on your time available in the morning, this is a great time to get some focused reading done. This one is pretty self-explanatory, so just consider it a side note to fit some reading into your life. And I told you there would be a bonus. So the last one I have for you is visualization and goal setting, or reviewing of your priorities for the day and for the years to come. The bonus item on the list goes for future setting. Remember when we were kids and we used to use our imaginations? We used to play like we were kittens and make up songs, or I used to play house with my neighbors and always wanted to be the mom because Kara's brother Todd was the dad and I thought he was so cute. Okay, I digress. How many struggles did we work out while playing? We problem solved, we delegated, we were leaders, and it all had a happy ending. Visualization is like grown-up playtime, sitting down and closing your eyes, or maybe through writing, coming up with an ideal scenario of a particular situation, or even a grandiose life master plan. When done through visualization, you have the chance to completely tell the story the way you want it to be. You can paint the dream house pink and drive a Ferrari with vanity tags. Fill in the blank. You can live in the mountains and commute to the city on the weekends to see all of your best concerts and shows. Your kids can all have blonde hair and call you Papa with a British accent. I don't know. This is your imagination. By giving yourself the space to dream and visualize, you are bringing mere thought into reality. Everything started with a thought, and that thought became an emotion. Through that feeling or energy, it transformed into action. And that is how you got here, in this house, on this computer, watching this workshop. So now is your chance to create a life for yourself the way you want it to be. I won't say that a morning routine is going to be the only thing that it takes, but I will say it is one hell of a great start. Shifting one more limiting belief from I am at my day's mercy to I am in control of my day and it starts the way I want it to. You will start to see other possibilities for things to shift. Now, remember, nothing I've shared with you today is theory. These are tactics and strategies I've added to my daily routine to build my own business and take it to the level it is today. I've helped clients set this up in their days as well with great success. Again, I'm not exactly sure what drew you to this workshop today, but I bet I can take a guess. You know that you can't rest on your past successes, but you're just not sure what is next. You might feel like your last successes were a fluke or luck, and you have some fear around not making it the next time around if you push it. Or maybe you know you're only functioning at about 60% of your true potential and just need motivation to get going again. Or you're ready to crush your goals and just really aren't sure what to focus on first. Maybe you've even got kids to homeschool, revenue goals to hit, and you're about to lose it if you don't get some me time. So, how can you get these results as quickly as possible? I know you might be asking yourself that, and using this morning routine or other strategies, kind of how is this all going to relate to my business? Well, I'd like to introduce the Kingston method. This is my special sauce. This is a 4-step process and framework that I use for my one-on-one coaching, as well as the basis for my group coaching program. And along with the inner work that comes along with crushing limiting beliefs, my system is all about the economy of implementation. So you're going to need someone to help you through this process, be the guide to your journey, and give you the outside perspective when you are falling off the path. But to get started today, you can start with these 4 steps. So number 1 is doing an identity inventory. Who are you and what are your beliefs, goals, dreams, and what are your core values that define who you are and keep you living on a clear path? And what is holding you back? What gets in the way of you living your ideal life? Number 2 is to set your vision, unpack, organize, and prioritize your goals. What do you even want in life? What are your goals? Having that super clear destination is how we can build a roadmap to get you there. Number 3 is execution plan. We will create an executable roadmap that includes daily, weekly, monthly activities to hit your goals according to plan. What will it take day in and day out to get to that destination? Reverse engineering from the end goal to where you are today will help us create a crystal clear plan. Number 4 is optimization and sustainability. This is just a fancy term for putting this plan into action and having some accountability around the execution and implementation. Without that, all the best laid plans will go to waste. We optimize your plan and modify your habits and rituals to create an accountability plan that enables longevity. Well, I'd love to invite you to have a conversation with me. This is the fastest way to get from point A to point B. Not knowing your next step for up-leveling your business to maybe having a crystal clear roadmap with a solid plan to overcome the roadblocks on the way, all while keeping the stress and anxiety levels at a minimum. This is about getting feedback quickly so that you're able to make small tweaks and stay on track without breaking your stride. If this sounds like you, I'd love to have a chat, so you can book your call today. I just want to tell you how I've worked with so many clients like you. They are stressed out and worried about what the future will bring, or not really knowing what is going on or having that clarity. And this is all kind of part of what's going on in their world and what they're worried about. They know there is something great they are meant to be doing, but they just don't know what it is yet. Oftentimes during that first call together, we're able to identify what it is that is holding you back and really start to come up with the ideas to push past it. If we figure it all out on that first call, that's great. No pressure to go any further. Either way, you will walk away with a value-packed strategy to use right away. So you can schedule a call below on my link here, calendly.com/CandiceCoach/discovery, and we can jump right into discussing how to implement some strategies into your life, following the simple 4-step process for finding your why and the next big thing and setting up the right roadmap in place to reach your goals. So what do you have to lose? Thanks for your time here today. Please let me know if you thought this was valuable. I can't wait to hear from you. Take care.